I'm still standing at the coordinate where we said forever, tying the loose ends of the bond you decided to sever. I've got the map out, I'm looking at the path we drew, but there's only one set of footprints in the morning dew. I was busy building the walls and the roof of our home while you were secretly carving a path to the unknown. I didn't see the suitcase you packed in your mind until I turned around and found myself left behind. You didn't wait for the fire to die to a spark. You didn't wait for the sun to be chased by the dark. You were already miles down a different road before I even felt the weight of the load. You left first, you left fast, you left before the end, breaking the lover before you even broke the friend. I was still fighting, I was still holding the line, thinking that always was a hill we could climb. But your heart was already out of the door while I was still praying for a little bit more. Yeah, you left first, and now I'm just a ghost you didn't wait for. Is it easier for you having the head start, to be the first one to take all the memories apart? I'm stuck in the moment of us while you're in the new, living the life that I thought was for me and for you. It's a coward's advantage, a thief's kind of game, to leave me the keys and the whole of the pain. You're a blurred out reflection in a review blast, watching the wreckage of a life just pass. You left first, you left fast, you left before the end, breaking the lover before you even broke the friend. I was still fighting, I was still holding the line, thinking that always was a hill we could climb. But your heart was already out of the door while I was still praying for a little bit more. Yeah, you left first, and I'm just a ghost you didn't wait for. Don't tell me it's hard, don't tell me you're sad. You gave up the only good thing that we had. You checked out the minute the weather got rough. I guess my forever just wasn't enough. You ran before the real work even began. You left first, you're free. You left first to see. I used to complain when you slammed the front door, or left the TV buzzing till 3:45. You're off key singing while you hummed in the shower used to drive me crazy, hour after hour. But now the air is stagnant, it's a terrifying calm. I'd give anything for the sound of your alarm. And I'm missing your noise, the chaotic sound of a life that was lived, of a love that was found. The scrape of your chair, the clink of your keys, the way you'd breathe heavy when you were at ease. Now the quiet is a monster, it's a deafening choice. God, I'm lonely for the wreckage, I'm missing your noise. The floorboards are sleeping, they don't creak anymore. No laughter is leaking from under the door. I'm dropping my glass just to hear the thing break, to fill up the vacuum, for heaven's sake. The silence is a pressure, it's a weight on my ears, the loudest thing I've heard in 100 years. Give me a shout, give me a sigh, give me a reason to say something besides goodbye. The static is screaming, the silence is raw. I'm a man in a desert with a frozen jaw. Yeah, I'm missing your noise, the chaotic sound of a life that was lived, of a love that was found. The scrape of your chair, the clink of your keys, the way you'd breathe heavy when you were at ease. Now the quiet is a monster, it's a deafening choice. God, I'm lonely for the wreckage, I'm missing your noise. Sing for me, even if it's just in my head. Scream for me, the quiet is making me dead. Just a little bit of noise, please. The hallway light is leaking through the crack, a golden line across your suitcase on the rack. You didn't say goodbye, you didn't even blink, just stood there on the edge, pushing us to the brink. I'm memorizing shadows on your favorite coat, while every word I need is choking in my throat. And the door closes slowly, like a heavy heart. The sound of the wood is tearing me apart. It's not a slam, it's not a sudden end, just the inch by inch losing of my best friend. Once the latch clicks, the world goes black, and the door closes slowly, but it's never coming back. I can see a silhouette through the frosted glass, waiting for the courage or the ghost to pass. You're lingering a second, or maybe it's a year. The loudest thing I felt is you not being here. One last breath of you before the air goes stale, a tragic little ending to a classic fairy tale. Don't be gentle, The sound of the wood is tearing me apart. It's not a slam, it's not a sudden end, just the inch by inch losing of my best friend. Once the latch clicks, the world goes black and the door closes slowly, but it's never coming back. Half an inch left, I can still see your shoes. A quarter inch left, nothing left to lose. Good, gone. We used to map the stars on the bedroom ceiling, talking till the morning, all the hope we were feeling. You saw a studio, I saw a little white fence. Every single whisper made a beautiful sense. We pinned them to the corkboard, the life we would lead, planting every impossible little seed. But the dreams we lost are the saddest ghosts, haunting the future that we wanted the most. They flicker in the dark, they whisper in the air, reminding us of the earth that isn't there. We built a mansion of wishes and trust, and watched every single one crumble to dust. All the dreams we lost, what a heavy cost. The paint peeled away, the vision got blurry. We stopped running to the future, the past felt secure. The jobs got in the way, the bills started to pile. We forgot how to dream, forgot how to smile. That map of the stars is covered in gloom, just an empty reminder in an empty room. I packed up the promise, you boxed up the trust. It was easier to break than to let it collect dust. We stopped believing the story we wrote, and watched all the magic just float and float and float away. Yeah, the dreams we lost are the saddest ghosts, haunting the future that we wanted the most. They flicker in the dark, they whisper in the air, reminding us of the earth that isn't there. We built a mansion of wishes and trusts, and watched every single one crumble to dust. Oh, the dreams we lost, what a heavy cost. What a heavy cost. One dream down, another one gone. Nothing left but the boy in the dust.
I'm sitting on the floor with
with a tube of super glue, trying to piece together a version of you. But the edges are jagged and the porcelain is thin, and I don't know where the healing is supposed to begin. I've got the instructions, I've got all the parts, but there's no manual for restarting too hard. And I'm fixing what's broken, but my fingers are tied by the knots of the secrets we both tried to hide. I'm sanding the cracks in, I'm painting the seams, trying to reconstruct all of our shattered dreams. But the glue doesn't hold, and the structure is weak. Fixing what's broken is a future that's bleak. You're holding the hammer, I'm holding the glass, watching the ghosts of our arguments pass. We can patch up the drywall and oil the door, but it won't feel the same as it did once before. A mended up face still shows where it fell, and a heart that's been rescued still rings like a knell. Maybe some things are meant to stay in the dust, to surrender to time and the silence and rust. If we force it together, we'll just cut our head on a love that no longer meets our demand. Yeah, I'm fixing what's broken, but my fingers are tied by the knots of the secrets we both tried to hide. I'm sanding the cracks in, and I'm painting the seams, trying to reconstruct all of our shattered dreams. But the glue doesn't hold, and the structure is weak. Fixing what's broken is a future that's bleak. Put the tools away, it's already gone. Sweep up the shards before the new dawn. It's not fixed, it's just finished. We're just two parallel lines that can't connect, a cosmic design that we can't dissect. I see you walking on a street I can't cross, counting the summer, the beautiful loss. We nod and we smile, strangers that know the math of the life we almost lived in a cosmic trap. Maybe in another life, in a different time, we built a home and the stars aligned. We got the dog and we learned how to dance. We didn't let go of that delicate chance. We're perfect and holding under a different sun. Maybe in another life. quiet little magic that we quickly dispel. The universe miscalculated the space and the years, leaving us here with the wreckage and the fears. You're happy now, I see it on your face. In this world, I know that I'm not your place, so I live for that version, the one that makes sense, the one where the love wasn't just a pretense, where we didn't break down, where we learn how to try. I'll keep that reality up in the sky. Maybe in another life, in a different time, we built a home and the stars aligned. We got the dog and we learned how to dance. We didn't let go of the delicate chance. We're perfect and holding under a different sun. Maybe in another life, our story's just you there, in the maybe, in the prayer. Another life, another chance. The screen glows blue against my tired palm. A digital storm after the 2 a.m. calm. I heard you breathing, heavy and slow, like you had secrets you were scared to let go. Then the line went flat, a clinical beat, while the rest of this city is falling asleep. And the midnight call ended with a click and a sigh. No sleep-tight baby or a proper goodbye. Just 12:01 on a darkened display, and 1,000 things I was dying to say. The signal is gone, but the echo remains like phantom blood pumping through my veins. Yeah, the midnight call ended and I'm still awake. I'm staring at the timer where the numbers just froze. That's how a heartbeat goes, I suppose. 1 minute we're whispering about moving away, the next you're a ghost in a kingdom of gray. I check my bars, but the connection is dead, just like the promises we made in my bed. Should I call back or let the static win? Or do your lies end and my hopes begin? The dial tones a flat line, a steady cold hum, telling me exactly what we become. Yeah, the midnight call ended with a click and a sigh. No sleep-tight baby or a proper goodbye. Just 12:01 on a darkened display, and 1,000 things I was dying to say. The signal is gone, but the echo remains like phantom blood pumping through my veins. Yeah, the midnight call ended and I'm still awake. I'm waiting for the light to jump, but the screen stays black. Total disconnect. Good night. Good night. vinyl spinning on a warped record player. The dust is settling in every single layer. I put my hand on a waist made of thin air, spinning through the kitchen like you're actually there. The moon is throwing shapes against the peeling paint, a silhouette of us flickering and faint. And I'm dancing with shadows in the middle of the room, trying to find the light in this beautiful gloom. I lead and I follow, a ghost I can't hold, a story in the dark that's already been told. The music is hollow, the floorboards are cold, but I'm dancing with shadows till the night turns to gold. I step to the left where your laughter used to ring. Now the quiet is the only song the rafters sing. I'm closing my eyes just to feel the pretend of a heartbeat against me, of a love with no end. But my arms fold inward on an empty chest, just a solo performance in a house unblessed, swirling through the what-ifs and the used-to-bes. I'm a kite in a storm with no string and no breeze. If I move fast enough, can I make you appear? Or am I just a man chasing smoke in his fear? Yeah, I'm dancing with shadows in the middle of the room, trying to find the light in this beautiful gloom. I lead and I follow, a ghost I can't hold, a story in the dark that's already been told. The music is hollow, the floorboards are cold, but I'm dancing with shadows till the night turns to gold. The shadows dissolve. The evidence is scattered like a broken glass, reflecting every moment that we let pass. A list of should have said and did too much, all the jagged edges and the toxic touches. We built this house on a fault line of pride, and acted so surprised when it collapsed inside. All the mistakes we made are the heavy ghosts haunting the bridges that we burned the most. We traded a kingdom for a handful of spite, and lost the war in a single night. They're carved in the drywall, they're etched in the floor. The mistakes we made, we can't fix anymore. I blamed your distance, you blame my fire. We both were the fuel on a funeral pyre. It wasn't one strike, it was 1,000 cuts, the slamming of doors and the ifs and buts. We grew so busy keeping the score that we forgot what we were fighting for. If I could go back to that first wrong turn, would I save the map or just let it burn? We were young, we were reckless, we were dangerously blind, and now we're just the wreckage that we left behind. fix anymore. The ink is too deep. Sorry isn't enough for the secrets we keep. Are all that's left of us. I'm tracing the patterns on the kitchen floor. We've argued till the ceiling can't take anymore. The ink in the well is finally run dry. There's no more I'm sorry, no more at least I tried. We're sitting in the wreckage of a 10-page fight, nothing but the hum of the refrigerator light. There are no words left, we've bled the lexicon empty. We used up the always and the how could you let me. It's a hollowed out chest where the poetry used to be. Just a static filled space between you and me. The dictionary's vacant, the pages are wide, 'cause there are no words left to save us tonight. Your mouth is moving but the air is just cold. A tired rerun of a story too old. We're grasping at syllables that dissolve in the air, like smoke from a fire that's no longer there. I'd give anything for a scream or a cry, but we're just two blanks under a velvet sky. Silence was a stranger, now it's our only guess. Sleeping in the bed, put the music to rest. If I said I love you, it would sound like a lie, because words are just ghosts when the feelings all die. There are no words left, we've bled the lexicon empty. We used up the always and the how could you let me. It's a hollowed out chest where the poetry used to be. Just a static filled space between you and me. The dictionary's vacant, the pages are wide, 'cause there are no words left to save us tonight. Can you hear the nothing? It's the only thing we have left to say. No word. The sound of a pen drop. sky by noon. From the good morning text and the see you soon. Now my phone is just a brick sitting on the wood, doing exactly what a graveyard should. The notifications all dry, just weather and news. Nothing from the person I was terrified to lose. And nobody calls anymore, the ringer is a ghost. I'm a sinking ship drifting away from the coast. The silence of the speaker is a deafening sound, like a digital wall that I can't get around. I'm checking the signal, I'm checking the light, but nobody calls to save me tonight. I scroll through the threads from a year ago, watching the fire turn into the snow. I almost dialed your number just to hear the tone, to trick my heavy heart into feeling less alone. But the contact name is blurry through the sting in my eyes, and the recent list is full of hollowed out goodbyes. Maybe I'm forgotten, maybe I'm just erased, a static-filled memory that can't be replaced. I'm staring at the screen till it burns out my sight, waiting for a vibration in the middle of the night. And nobody calls anymore, the ringer is a ghost. I'm a sinking ship drifting away from the coast. The silence of the speaker is a deafening sound, like a digital wall that I can't get around. I'm checking the signal, I'm checking the light, but nobody calls to save me tonight. Zero missed call, zero new line, just the hum of the air and the passing of time. Maybe tomorrow, but probably not. But probably not. We both knew the warning, read the signs in the air, but we leaned into the danger just because you were there. You struck the match and I held out my hand, dancing with the flames, exactly as we planned. The scent of the smoke was a strange perfume as we lit up the corners of this empty room. And we were playing with fire in a house made of wood, ignoring every single thing that we understood. We thought we were stronger, we thought we were smart, but you can't touch a flame without burning the heart. Now the ashes are falling, the foundations are gone. We were playing with fire, and we knew it all along. felt like passion, the glow felt like home. But we were just two idiots trying to roam in a world built of matches and gasoline dreams, ignoring the warnings and the desperate screams. I watch your eyes glisten in the orange light, blinded by the beauty of our self-made night. It's beautiful when it burns, but the falling is fast, a spectacular crash that was never meant to last. We stoked the embers, we wanted the blaze. Now we're lost in the smoke, in the dangerous haze. And we were playing with fire in a house made of wood, ignoring every single thing that we understood. We thought we were stronger, we thought we were smart, but you can't touch a flame without burning the heart. Now the ashes are falling, the foundations are gone. We were playing with fire, and we knew it all along. It's too hard to hold, it's too late to run. The fire's out of control, and the damage is done. We burned it all down. We burned it all down. It's like poison ivy growing in my soul, a burning, itching feeling I can't control. It sits on my tongue when I wake up at dawn, the taste of every moment that went wrong, a sour little pill that I have to chew, a nasty aftertaste of me and you. Oh, regret tastes bitter like a cheap red wine, a constant reminder of what used to be mine. It's heavy on the chest, it's sharp on the teeth, a venomous memory just underneath every single choice I wish I hadn't made. Regret tastes bitter, and the flavor won't fade. I order coffee, but I don't taste the cream. Lost in the wreckage of a shattered dream. The things I didn't say, the paths I didn't take, every forbitter that turned into break. It coats my throat a dry and dusty past, a bitter little flavor that I was built to last. I can't wash it out, I can't rinse it clean. It's part of was bitter, bitter. I tell my friends I'm doing better. I show them all the signs. I've erased your name from all my letters and rewritten all the lines. I've rearranged the furniture, I've painted every wall. I'm standing tall and steady, I've forgotten how to fall. But then the wind blows through the window in a very specific way, and I'm back inside the wreckage of that rainy Saturday. The surface is a mirror, it's polished and it's bright, but underneath the water there's a pressure and a tight grip around my spirit that I just can't seem to shake. A little piece of porcelain that didn't fully break, 'cause it still hurts somewhere in a place I cannot reach, like a jagged little stone upon a perfectly white beach. The wound is turned to silver, the scar is getting old, but it still catches fire when the night is turning cold. I can walk, I can run, I can breathe the morning air, but it still hurts somewhere, knowing that you're just not there. I don't cry when I hear our song, I don't even skip the track. I've mastered the art of moving on and never looking back. Sometimes in the middle of a crowded laughing room, I feel a sudden shadow, like a flower lost its bloom. It's not a scream, it's not a sob, it's not a violent thing, just the ghost of a vibration from a broken guitar string. 'Cause it still hurts somewhere in a place I cannot reach, like a jagged little stone upon a perfectly white beach. The wound is turned to silver, the scar is getting old, but it still catches fire when the night is turning cold. I can run, I can walk, I can breathe the morning air, but it still hurts somewhere, knowing that you're just not there. Healing isn't linear, it's a circle in the dark. It's finding out the fire left a permanent little spark. I'm not dying from the fever, I'm just living with a chill. I thought that I was cured, but I guess I'm healing still. Does it still hurt somewhere, in a place I cannot reach, like a jagged little stone upon a perfectly white beach? The wound is turned to silver, the scar is getting old, but it still catches fire when the night is turning cold. I can walk, I can run, I can breathe the morning air, but it still hurts somewhere, knowing that you're just not there. Just a little way, just a little sting. It's a part of me now, it's a hollow thing, still hurts somewhere, somewhere deep. I've checked all the boxes on the how to heal it. I've seen the new movies that I thought we'd have missed. I've scrubbed every surface and I've changed every sheet. I've mastered the art of not looking down our old street. On paper I'm perfect, on paper I'm fine, I'm hitting my targets and I'm making my time, but the air in my lungs feels like it's secondhand, like I'm living a life that I never quite planned. The calendar pages are falling like rain, but they aren't washing out a single drop of the stain. I'm a year down the road, I'm a world away now, but I'm still held together by a broken down vow. And I'm still not over the way that we ended, the parts of my spirit that can't be defended. I'm still not over the sound of your name, or the way that the silence is never the same. They say time is a healer, but time is nothing but polished up brief. Yeah, I'm still not over, I'm still in the thick of a forever that ended a little too quick. I saw you last weekend, just a blur in a crowd, and the noise in my head got incredibly loud. You look so untroubled, you look so complete, while I felt the pavement give way beneath my feet. It's a secret I carry, a debt I still owe to a version of us that I can't let you know. I'm a house with a soul, signing ghosts in the hall, pretending When do the pieces stop being a heart? I'm tired of the almost, I'm tired of the soon, I'm tired of howling at a different moon. I'm not moving forward, I'm just moving in place, still tracing the lines of a ghost-written fate. That can't be defended. I'm still not over the sound of your name, or the way that the silence is never the same. They say time is a healer, but time is a thief who leaves you with nothing but polished up grief. Yeah, I'm still not over, I'm still in the thick of a forever that ended a little too quick. Not over the why, not over the buy. I'm still in the wreckage, I'm still on the floor. Still not over, and I don't know if I'll be anymore. The keys are on the counter and the engine's running cold, but we're caught in the gravity, the story's already told. I've got my hand upon the handle, I've got my coat against the chill, but my feet are made of iron and they're standing perfectly still. One step would be the end, one step would be the break, but the air between us is a weight I can't quite take. The logic in my head is screaming run for the door, but the ghost of your touch is what I'm reaching for. I'm a prisoner of the almost, a victim of the near, and the exit sign is blurry through a sudden salt thick tear. 'Cause I'm too close to stay, but I'm too close to leave, caught in the fabric of a lie I still believe. If I go, I'm a shadow, if I stay, I'm a ghost, drowning in the person that I'm loving the most. It's a beautiful friction, it's a desperate kind of glue, and I'm paralyzed by the thought of a world without you. Yeah, I'm too close to leave, so I'm just standing here waiting for the sky to blue. I can see the cracks in the ceiling, I can see the flaws in your eyes. I know the exact frequency of all your favorite lies. We burnt the bridges down, we've salted all the ground, but I'm still addicted to the way you make sound. It's a toxic kind of comfort, a familiar kind of pain, like a desert that is praying for a flood of acid rain. 'Cause I'm too close to stay, but I'm too close to leave, caught in the fabric of a lie I still believe. If I go, I'm a shadow, if I stay, I'm a ghost, drowning in the person that I'm loving the most. spell or let me fall. Don't leave me hanging in the middle of the hall. I'm at the border of the over and the just begun, staring at the barrel of a loaded silver gun. Walk away or pull me in. Just don't let me live in the space between your skin. I see you standing there with that look in your eyes, the one that used to make me believe all the lies. You're holding out your hand like a peace offering, but I'm already hearing the good bells ring. You've got a suitcase of sorries and a heart full of weight, but you're standing at the station of a train that was late. I spent 1,000 nights wishing you'd walk through that door, but I don't recognize the person I was waiting for anymore. The fire's gone out, the embers are cold, and there's nothing left of the story we told. It's too late to stay, the window has closed. The love that we planted has already froze. You're bringing the water to a garden of dust, trying to polish the iron and the rust. I've already learned how to sleep on my own, how to build up a kingdom from a single stone. Yeah, you're finally ready, but I've moved away. It's just too late to stay. You're talking about us in the present tense, but us is a ghost that's been over the fence. I've already mourned you, I've already cried, I've already buried the we that has died. It's funny how timing is a weapon so sharp, cutting the strings of a beautiful harp. It's too late to stay, the wind too late to stay. Don't ask me to try, don't ask me to start. I finally found peace in the holes in my heart. You're a year too late, and a heartbeat too slow. And the hardest part was learning to let you go. Now that I'm gone, you wanna come home, but home isn't here anymore. Just too late to stay. Too late. The door is locked. Too late. The clock has stopped. You're just a memory I'm putting away. It's too late to stay. The chair across the table still remembers your shape, a silhouette in wood that I can't escape. The pillows on the couch still hold your hair, a museum of memories in this empty air. I'm lighting two candles, pretending it's a date, staring at the door, tempting cruel fate. And I'm wishing you were here, just a ghost in the room, chasing out the silence, breaking up the gloom. I don't need your love, I don't need your touch, just a simple presence that I miss so much. A breath in the hallway, a hand on the glass. I'm wishing you were here, but I know that won't last. The song on the radio used to be our sound. Now it's just noise on haunted ground. I'm pouring two glasses, one for the memory we made, one for the price that my stubbornness paid. The air is getting thinner, it's getting hard to breathe, stuck in a moment where I can't quite leave. It's not just a want, it's a physical ache, a hunger for warmth that my heart can't fake. If a wish was a lifeline, I'd already be saved, but I'm just a fool for the path that you pave. And I'm wishing you were here, just a ghost in a room, chasing out the silence, breaking up the gloom. I don't here, but you never will be.
I'm looking at the ink on the back of my wrist, a tiny forever that we swore would exist. You trace the lines with your thumb in the dark, vowing that time wouldn't leave a single mark. Now the ink is fading, turning a dull shade of blue, like every word that was whispered by you. The clock on the wall is still ticking the same, but the air in this room doesn't know your name. I'm searching for echoes in the hollow of the hall, waiting for the shadow that you let fall. You promised always, you promised the stars. You said we'd be the ones who'd outrun the scars. You spoke of a future like it was already written, back when the world was ours for the getting, but always turned into a ghost in the room, a garden of maybes that never will bloom. Yeah, you promised always, and I believed every word. Now forever is the saddest thing I've ever heard. I walked past the park where we carved out our names, before the weather turned and we started the games. The wood has grown over, the letters are thin. I wonder if you're letting somebody else in. It's funny how forever has an expiration date, a sudden no more delivered by fate. You promised always, you promised the stars. You said we'd be the ones who'd outrun the scars. You spoke of a future like it was already written, back when the world was ours for the getting, but always turned into a ghost in the room, a garden of maybes that never will bloom. Yeah, you promised always, and I believed every word. Now forever is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Always was a heavy weight to carry alone, building a castle when you're just one stone. You made it sound easy, you made it sound true, but always didn't mean very much to you. No, it didn't mean a thing to you. You promised always, you promised the stars. You said we'd be the ones who'd outrun the scars. You spoke of a future like it was already written, back when the world was ours for the getting, but always turned into a ghost in the room, a garden of maybes that never will bloom. Yeah, you promised always, and I believed every word. Now forever is the saddest thing I've ever heard. Just a word you said, just a lie in my head. You promised always, but always ends today. The calendar is stuck on a Tuesday in June, the day that the sun fell away from the moon. There was no lightning, no thunderous sound, just the weight of the gravity hitting the ground. I remember the way that the light hit at your hair as you stood by the window and looked through the air. The air turned to lead and the clock seemed to fail. Your face was a map that was hauntingly pale. We didn't notice the world keep on spinning outside while we were both drowning in the turn of the tide. When we broke, the sky didn't fall, but the shadows grew longer over the wall. No sirens were screaming, no warning was sent, just the slow, quiet realization of what it all meant. We didn't shatter like glass on the street, we just folded like paper in the cold and the heat. When we broke, the world stayed the same, but I was never the same again. I look at the photos and search for the crack, the moment the color started fading to black. Was it a word or a look or a sigh, or the million little ways that we said our goodbye? It's a quiet catastrophe, a silent collapse, the bridge falling down while we looked at the maps. When we broke, the sky didn't fall, but the shadows stood all over the wall. No sirens were screaming, no warning was sent, just the slow, quiet realization of what it all meant. We didn't shatter like glass on the street, we just folded like paper in the cold and the heat. Yeah, when we broke, the world stayed the same, but I was never the same again. They tell you that heartbreak is a violent thing, but it's mostly the silence that the winter winds bring. It's the lack of a hello, the end of a spark. It's learning to live with the holes in the dark. We didn't explode, we just went when we broke, the sky didn't fall, but the shadows grew over the wall. No sirens were screaming, no warning was sent, just the slow, quiet realization of what it all meant. We didn't shatter like glass on the street, we just folded like paper in the cold and the heat. Yeah, when we broke, the world stayed the same, but I was never the same again. The dust started settling, the room started cooling. I stopped the pretending, I stopped the fooling when we broke. everything went still.